Well, g'day everybody. So it's all getting very intense. The OGR is just about to finish when Explorer gets in, so that's kind of fun. And I know the audience is dropping off completely right now. There's not a lot of people excited about seeing Explorer come in, but she'll be very happy to get here once they arrive and cross the line out from the squadron. So today it's just going to have a bit of fun. I mean, there's only one boat to talk about, and the weather is pretty average all the way in. ETA looks like about the 11th or the 12th. So that was a spoiler, so you don't even really have to watch the tracker now. But anyway, we'll put that on in a minute. But I'm going to show you some other bits. I'm going to show you the boat that's probably going to be the very first entry in the Ocean Globe race as soon as Explorer gets across the line. And that's our other one, the other boat. So you can have a sneak peek at that. And I'll just show you a couple of things. I gave you a sneak peek at something yesterday, and I'll show you a picture which will make it all fall into place maybe today. So that'll be at the end of this substantial, in-depth analysis of the tracker. And it might be fun for some that haven't seen the detail of some of the history from 50 years ago, which, as you know, we're recreating, or we have just about recreated the 50th anniversary of the very first, recreated the original Whitbread race in 1973. And that was very successful. We're all pretty happy about that. The feel from everyone, from the organisers and a lot of other people, is that we really nailed it, or the entrants really nailed it. We set up the process of having an event with certain types of rules. There were the retro silly rules, and then there was the actual normal on the water sailing rules, risk mitigation, and so on. But the idea of classic boats and sailing with sextants, and then having the ability to film it all and stuff, people got snippets of the way it used to be in 50 years ago, which was fantastic. So we're doing that with the celebration of the this first Ocean Globe race as well at prize giving. So more about that later. I'm actually surrounded by rubbish at the moment. We came back on the ferry and then drove back yesterday. Jane, Ada, and me, and we're back here now. And Marco's been working flat out for the last 3-4 weeks, clearing out of the office, setting up here, and working on some other boats we've got here. We towed the Rid back yesterday, so there's a lot going on. And we're just establishing my office. This is just a mess. But there's boats everywhere. That's GGR boats up there, if you can see that. Shoe Haley's and Joshua's. There's even a Tracker up there. And that's a couple other models we've got. That's Sayula and Flyer. So the winner of the first race in 73 and winner of the second race in 77. We've got other models. We've got models of Adventure, the British entry, which we named one of the classes after. And we've also got a model of Explorer coming. Ooh, she ranks because that's one of our boats. So we got another model of Explorer coming, and also a model of Steinlager. Steinlager plays a role in the recognition of the late Sir Peter Blake's incredible successes, not only in the Whitbread, but the America's Carp and all the rest of it. But he was a real significant figure in the first, I think it's the first 4 or 5. First 4 or 5, I think it is, culminating in Steinlager 2. And I'm connected there in a strange sort of a way. In 1988, I was organising the first ever around Australia yacht race, which was really successful. It was massive. All the way around Australia, it was a pursuit race with pit stops all the way around. And the late Peter Blake entered with Steinlager 1, which was a big trimaran. Him and Quilter sailed it around Australia and won the race, the 60-foot trimaran. Which was a big deal, but they were actually building Steinlager 2 during the course of the race. And the one classic story, just before the start of the race, Peter came and saw me. He wasn't supposed to be leaving the zone, if you know what I mean, because it was all happening. And he said, Don, I've got to go back to New Zealand. We've got some serious issues with Steinlager 2. And so I gave them permission to go. They came back, and they didn't really talk about it a lot then, but what actually happened, they built the hull, which I'm pretty sure it was carbon fiber. It was exotic anyway, and it was a maxi. It was the first, this was the realm of the first maxis coming in, 80 feet, 82 feet or something. And things were going wrong with the build. And eventually, they had literally, when Peter flew over, they looked at it and they had to scrap the boat entirely. The hull that was sort of, under construction, they scrapped it and started again. So the Steinlager 2 that you see there is really actually Steinlager 2.5, because the first hull was scrapped. It was a complete disaster. Anyway, came back and told us all about it. And it was like, mum was the word. No one was to know about it. But that's history. So anyway, so what we've got, and Peter, the late Peter Blake was very helpful to me at the time. Back then I was much younger. That was a long time ago. And this was the first major event. We'd been running some other stuff. And he was very commercially minded. He I wouldn't say he mentored me. He taught me a lot of stuff about sponsors. I've never really been successful, not like him, but taught me a lot about sponsors and media. And his classic claim to fame, I don't know whether you imagine this, but if you can imagine Peter, he just won his first boat into Mooloolaba, and he's doing an interview with media because all the local TV were all over him, and he's drinking a Steinlager beer because he's his sponsor. And as he's being interviewed live, sort of thing, he noticed out of the corner of his eye that the label of the beer wasn't actually facing the camera. Right. So as he's talking, he slowly rolls the bottle around. I'm watching all this so that the label is now facing the camera while he's talking, And after I had a big laugh about him, he said, mate, listen, the bullshit pays the bills, I'll never forget that line. And so he was a great guy. So cutting to the quick, we have, in fact, I forget the title of it exactly, but it's like a Spirit of the OGR award to the crew member. That we believe it epitomizes the spirit of what the OGR stands for. And they don't get the model, which is a massive model, beautiful model of Steinlager, is the perpetual trophy for that. So they'll have their name on that going forward. So every Ocean Globe race, there will be one crew member that's completed the circumnavigation that stands out above all others. And we make that award to that person. So that's the reason we've got a Steinlager model as well. Anyway, so but more on that in a minute. We'll do this in-depth analysis of the weather and the tracker and Explorer's ETA and how they're performing and what's happening on board, and then we'll come back with some more rhubarb, just snippets, and I'll tell you it'll be a boring alert, boring, but you might find it kind of fun. And I'll show you our new boat, so that'll be cool. Now, if I hit this, you'll go onto the tracker. Yep, you're on the tracker, and we're on the sus internet at the moment too. We're on our phone internet, but hopefully it'll work. Okay, so this is what we're looking at right now. I'll just push this down here so we can get a better look. Explorer's actually been doing quite well, which is what I said yesterday. They look at that, 7.5 knots. They're actually doing 6.5, I think it is, in the previous 4 hours, and we haven't seen these kind of numbers for weeks. They must be getting hungry. Maybe even months. I'm not sure. Anyway, so they're on a roll right now, and I said they've got about a day of fast sailing, and they'll probably do okay. They've done 142 nautical miles right now, and this will probably hold through for another 12 hours or so. And they have 600 miles to go. So at that rate, if they're doing 150 miles a day, they would be there in about 4 days. And it's now the 7th. So if it was 4 days, that's the 11th. I can't see them, when I'll show you the weather, I can't see them managing 150 miles a day. It'll go close, so I'm thinking it's going to be about the 12th, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the 11th here. It's absolutely going to be the 12th. And I just booked Mark's accommodation, so on the 12th. Okay, so we'll pick this up one more size, and we're still seeing it. Yep. Okay, so there's calm weather ahead. The only problem with me having a bigger scale is you won't see what's happening with the weather. Anyway, you can see here, this is 4 o'clock this afternoon. He's still got good breeze, so they'll maintain that right through till midnight, 1 o'clock, and it's starting to go quiet. So they're going to get, this is 7:30 in the morning. By then, well, let's take it through till 10:30. That's 24 hours. So they'll probably get another 150 miles on this. So if we go out here, that's 180. So maybe 160. They should be doing sevens. I mean, if there were, well, let me put it another way. White Shadow would probably be doing 8.5 now, maybe even 9. But anyway, so let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. So this time, the tracker's not showing. Cheapers. Okay. Why is it doing that? Okay, I'll come back here. I think it might be the internet. Okay, I'm gonna Hey, jeepers. Okay, I'm going to turn that off here. I'll come back to me. Just stand by. I'm going to, rather than reboot, I've got a whole pile of things set up here. If I completely reboot, let me just bring this on again. Make sure we want to show in the stream. Hang on. Can you see that now, Jane? Jane, just checking here. Glad we've got plenty of time. So it's still black? Okay, I'm going to have to try and reboot, which means I'll lose all the material that I've got sitting on here. I'm just going to try something else here now. Let me see if you get this. Can you see the trophies there?
No, maybe I know solo or not or for what?
Yeah, no, there's solo on, off. That's now the solo. There's solo on. That's back to
yes.
me. It was there. Okay, so this is, if I hit that, tracker should come on. What do you got? Nope.
What?
Here it comes. I think it's the internet.
How about you shut all the share screen and start share again?
I've got a whole pile of material.
No, just stop the share screen.
Stop the share screen, that one?
Yeah.
Just delete that.
Just delete it.
Remove.
And then show you solo on so people see your face or whatever.
Yep. Okay, so that's it there. So we just move the tracker off.
What's that one? Can you just stop?
That's me. Now I'm going to call back the share screen.
What's this one? What's this?
What's that? That's us.
No,
I
stop sharing. It's you still have another share.
Yeah, I know, but I want to use that after. I want to use that. Hang on, let me just try, and I'm going to try and pull the tracker up again. There's two trackers here. I'm not sure which one it is.
Your face is stopped. Maybe just the internet too slow.
Yeah. Okay. We have a problem. Okay, what do we do? Other internet? Okay, the problem now is that if I don't get back, we can't shut it off. It should be moving again now. Can you leave your phone here live? Sorry about this. We might have to shut this down and come back with the Jane's just getting me another internet, but I'm not sure if this will work. Yeah. I think it might be better if we shut this one down and come back in a minute, because how are we going to swap the internet? That's a bother. Okay, what I might do is I might forget the tracker in a minute while we're here. If I can get through some of this other stuff, then I'll come back and try and, because it looks like the photos may be up. So, okay, let's just bypass the tracker at the moment. I know you're all really intrigued with what's going on, and we'll just work on this. Jane's just, let me do the other reboot first, and I'll come back with the tracker. Because if I lose all this, yeah. Okay. Okay, so imagine, anyway, I can tell you now that Explorer's not going to get there before the 11th, and I think they'll probably arrive on the 12th. They've got some light. Jen, I need the phone to see if it's streaming or something. All these light stalls. So they've got good sailing for 24 hours, and then it's going to go very light for a day. Then it's basically going light headwinds, and that'll make it really even more frustrating. So I'm fully expecting to see them in on sometime on the 12th. Okay, so was it a good tracker update? I'm just going to see if this carries through, because that's all there is to talk about anyway. I mean, it's not hard weather; it's just frustrating weather for them. Anyway, so okay, first thing to show you is this one. So this is Ramon from Sayula, the winner of the first Whitbread race in 1973. And I showed you something very cool yesterday. And having said that, you'll understand that's the actual original trophy of the very first Whitbread, and we haven't secured the original trophy, and that's still in the family for Sayula. They've still got the boat, by the way. The family still owns Sayula, and they sail it regularly. It's in really good condition, and they have a lot of fun with it. And some of you may remember that Translated 9 sailed over there when they did the Cape to Rio race, and they sailed alongside Sayula, which was all very exciting. Anyway, so that might give you a hint towards the photo that we've got before, but we ain't got that original trophy back, but there's something going on which is really quite special. So what's the boat we've got? Okay, so this is Scott Bank of Finland. This is the boat that Tapio sailed in the 84 Whitbread out of Finland. I think he was 23 at the time. It's a Baltic 51, which was quite a up to what do we say? Up to date as a hot boat for the Whitbread back then. Not a big boat, 51 feet. Had a reasonable IOR rating. Took them about Tapio said 165 days or something to go around in the original Whitbread. So they're pretty cool boats. And look at this. Look at this. Ooh, look at that. That could be the very first entry into the 2027 Ocean Globe race, followed quickly behind by Explorer when they get in. I've got to wait until they get in before I can put the entry in. So there's two boats that are going to go in. The Baltic is a really cool boat. And I'll explain why. First of all, we think that the IRC rating is going to be okay. I think Joanna Tui and Triana proved that 53 feet is a nice size to try and get somewhere over the balance of weather and effort and so on. They sailed with light crew on Triana, not a lot of crew to save weight and so on, but and that helped their rating as well. Plus they had a hot crew, okay, led by Sebastian, who was 8 times or something around the world, around Cape Horn, sailed on everything, small, large, you name it. He's a very an amazing sailor. So so that's what's happening. We'll have 2 boats. There'll be 10 sailing on the new boat. We haven't said what the name is yet. It may. Oh, I won't go into the name of the boat. It'll be number 29 because that's how old I am. I used to be 28. That's Explorer's number, but now I'm 29. And so we'll have a skipper and a mate and 8 other crew, and hopefully. I might even get to sail on that boat, but we'll see. I'll just show you here, give you a heads up on this. This is the boat, and if I hit this, I'm going to show you through some of the pictures. I mainly want to get to the I'm going to just scan through these. It's a smaller version of Outlaw. Outlaw is a Baltic 55. They're built extremely well. 2 companionways, at the back, a big wheel at the back. It's not a recessed wheel in the hull. And this deck layout is exactly the same as Scott Bank of Finland. Now here's the key to it: beautiful layout boat, and it can be really optimized well. There's a big island double bed in the back, but we put a bunk board down the middle, so you've got two berths in the back cabin. You've got this quarter cabin here with a twin 2 berths, and you've got the same on the starboard side. You've got an ensuite down the back here. You've got another head just here as you come down the companionway, but that'll become a big wet locker. Big galley, chart table here, and then the settees, and we just put a pipe cot above those 2 settees. So you've got 10 people with their own bunks all down the back end of the boat. The forecastle will become basically all storage and so on. And we'll be super concentrating on weight with this one for people. If you're going to sail on this boat, you will be given an exact list of equipment and clothes that you can bring. So it'll only be like one pair of shorts, 2 shirts. It's all got to fit in a 60-litre dry bag. Everything, your boots, your wet weather gear, your clothing, you name it, everything. That's all you get. And we'll be optimizing everything associated with weight. We're going to work on the rig. We're going to do what we can to optimize the IRC rating, and also we'll have racing sails. And this is going to be a performance effort. I don't know whether it'll work, but it'll be a lot of fun. So this will be our performance boat, and Explorer will be our usual adventure boat. Get to the finish, have a lot of fun, sail as best as possible, and please try to beat Explorer's current time around the world. So this is the saloon. I'm just going to flip through these. They're great boats. And there's the twin cabins down the back, chart table on the starboard side. And you got black screen. Oh, no. I just looked across there. I don't know whether you even saw any of that. Oh, well, I'll get out of here. You've had enough of that. We got internet problems, which I'll have to try and resolve. I can't show you much more. I don't even know whether you got the layout. But anyway, that's life. So, boom, we've got all sorts of stuff going on here now. Anyway, that's all I got to say. So, yeah, blank. You didn't see no pictures. Boring. I'll just see if you get this one. No, it's taken a while to catch up. I see you've got the collage there. Yeah, internet's too slow. Okay. So if it's slow, I wonder if they got the layout. I just want to show that. Anyway, more on that later. I think that's all we can do for now. Explorer is in on the 12th, I reckon. I just got me up now. It's super slow. What a bore. Here we go. Okay, so I'll just quickly go through to see if no one still have any questions because we didn't get through much. We will sort out the internet. When is the start date of the MGR? What ports will be stopovers? Okay, the start date. Well, we got a feeder from Lagos in Portugal. Boats will start assembling there from about the 16th of December, I think, this year, and then we go through to start there on the 28th of December, and then to Lanzarote, and then the start from Lanzarote, I think, is on the in the Canaries at Rubicon Marina. That is, if I remember rightly, the 16th of January. That's about right, 16th of January, sailing to Antigua, okay, and then from Antigua, that's where the round the world race, the mini globe race starts. So it goes from Antigua to Antigua, about 13 months, starting on February the 28th, if I remember correctly. And then from there, leg one is to Panama. Okay, only 1,200 miles, about that, to Panama. Then we get the boats across in trucks and trailers and stuff to the other side, and there's a mass restart there about a month later. Ayrton says he wants to go through Panama with this just for the fun of it. Some others may want to do the same, but it's cheaper and easier to truck it across, but we'll see. Then from there, the next leg is from Panama all the way to Fiji. But there's a concept you got to get your head around here. There's pit stops, official pit stops, all the way across to Fiji. And then you get some free choices. So when they sail away from Panama, they can stop at two different places. And they get 8 days to make those stops. One could be Galapagos, one could be Marquesas. Then they have to make a stop in Papeete in Tahiti for 8 days, I think it is. And then they just do a pit stop there for 8 days. Then they keep going. They have to stop in Tonga, and they have to stop there for about 8 days in Vavau or Nuku'alofa. It's entirely up to the skipper. And then from Tonga, they go to Fiji. And when 25% of the fleet arrive in Fiji, we're going to Vuda Marina in Fiji, which is a great place, really fantastic marina, very friendly, pretty cruisy as well. So from Vuda Marina, 25% there, we set the restart date, which will be 2 weeks after 25% of the boats arrive. And that's the end of leg 2 from Panama to Fiji. And then leg 3 goes from Fiji all the way through to Cape Town, which is a massive leg. But they have to make some compulsory stops. The first one, they go from Fiji, they go to Darwin, okay, and stop in Darwin for, I think it's 8-10 days. But they could stop in Vavau if they wanted to. They can stop wherever they want. And then from Darwin, the next stop is Mauritius or Reunion. We haven't decided yet. Across the Indian, that's a big one, okay. And then from there, they go down to Durban. And once they're in, these are just pit stops into Durban. And then when they're in Durban, they get 10-day pit stops carrying on from there to Cape Town. And the reason for that, the worst weather is actually going around the bottom of Cape of Good Hope. But with those 10 days of pit stops, they could sail, when they see the weather's right, they can then sail to the next port, and they can have a 3 or 4 day stopover, wait for the weather to change again, and then go to the next one, and so on. So they get into Cape Town. That's the end of leg 3. And then the restart from Cape Town, similar situation. 25% of the boats in. We set it 2 weeks later. So that's currently set at December 22nd. And then from the final leg, and we're just about to modify this, we think. The final leg will be from there to St. Helena, I think it is, and then from St. Helena across to Recife, right? And then in Recife, that might be the end of the leg. We're changing this so that all the boats regroup into Recife, which is, again, a great place. They've got a brand new marina there and big 5-star hotels and all the rest of it. So we may regroup in Recife, and that makes it a shorter, simpler leg from Recife straight through to the finish in Antigua, which means the boats will arrive a lot closer and have a huge party at the end. So the last leg will be into Recife, and it's going to be a hell of a race. There's a lot of things that are different about it. It's not like the Golden Globe or the Ocean Globe race. They're very much independent voyages, and it takes a long time. It's going to take them 13 months to get around. But a fantastic adventure, and the boats, I've got to tell you, are fantastic. They're not your average 5.8 metre boat. They're not the fastest 5.8 metre boat. They're a boat that were designed specifically for this race around the world. Super strong, super safe, sail it under wind vane. Ayrton's fitting a hydrovane on his 5.8 metre boat, work that out. And others are using different types of vanes. A lot of them are using the South Atlantic vane. So it's going to be a fascinating voyage to watch, and they're capable boats, a capable crew. And we should have about 14 starters, I think. There's 18 trying to get to the start right now. I think we could end up with 14 starters. So going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Anyway, sorry that we didn't get the tracker up very much. And it looks like we've got an internet problem. I see I'm still on I've got myself here, so this is a bit confusing. Just to make sure I'm on, and we'll go from there. And I'll quickly look at these questions now. I forget where. Oh, that's John Suzette. G'day from Albury, Western Australia. You're a bit fuzzy. Background is clear. Okay, I'm always fuzzy. Don't worry. I'll get over it. No picture. Yeah, black screen. Donation Globe race. Yeah, no tracker. But unfortunately, no picture. Will there be something like the America's Cup trophy that gets passed from winner to winner with each edition? No. No. It's but I've said already, we had an inquiry from Heather on Maiden. She's going to bring the trophy back home, and she wanted to know how big it was, and this, that, and the other. Well, we have a perpetual trophy. It's a big one. It's much bigger than original. Weighs about 25 kilos, and it's quite a monster. And then you'll see what happens after that. So they'll get a trophy to take away with them. But if they want to borrow the big trophy, they can actually borrow it and put it in display somewhere for 2 or 3 months if they want it, and so on. But it's not passed and kept by the winner as such. We keep hold of it because it's quite big. So g'day Rob, just joined. Haven't got hold of the original. No, we ain't got the original trophy. Haskell Hull Steinlager is on the side of the Maritime Museum. Yeah. Well, this one's a big one. It's about, I don't know, quite big, but it's a great model. It's just been finished and shipping to us now. Slow internet. Yeah, it's slow internet. All right. Anyway, that happens. Fortunately, we weren't here all the time. Ocean Globe race back on black screen. Okay, black screen. No pictures. Sorry about that. Explorer was never going to be the fast with Dad in charge. It's Bridie. That's Mark's daughter. He's doing a good job. He's getting them home safe, and I'm sure they're having great fun. Finally made it live again. Good on you. So we had a few problems there at the beginning. Sorry about that. I think you've seen the picture. I don't think it's going to be any faster, but I'll just, before I sign off, I'll just see if I can get you the. No, we can't. No, can't. Okay, that's it. So I'm gone. So we'll see you again 7th, 8th, 9th in a couple of days. Not tomorrow. We're only doing it every 2 days. So see you then. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.